technology, the changes within the climate, the division of power within nations, the changes within the climate, the demographic changes. So I will be taking each and every point one by one. So I will begin by individual empowerment. This is actually one of the most important mega trends because it's actually a cause and effect of most of these other trends. It is predicted that it will increase substantially during the next 15 to 20 years owing to poverty reduction and a huge growth of the global middle class. Greater educational attainment and better healthcare facilities are predicted to increase. And then someone will say, what is empowerment? Empowerment by definition is the capacity of individuals, groups or communities to take control of their circumstances. Individual empowerment will accelerate the middle class. We will see an increase within the middle class. We will later on define what a middle class. At the moment, just hang on there. Poverty will be reduced within nations. Educational attainment will be high. Therefore, as an organization, we need to have set global footprints within the organization as we have already started. What else should we do? We need to have a wave of microfinance programs and other livelihood support interventions, specifically targeting the rural women self-help programs, so that we can empower them and increase individual empowerment. The basic assumption underlying individual empowerment are that these income-generating groups or programs are giving women access to working capital, which can increase their ability to generate choices and exercise bargaining power, as well as develop a sense of self-worth, a belief in one's ability to secure desired changes and the right to control one's life. More so, we shall witness an increase in urbanization, but however, if we empower our people, urbanization will be reduced. We will talk about urbanization later on. We are likely to witness technology affecting empowerment, as we have realized that internet is now a tool for empowerment. The growing increase or the growing access of the web in the late 20th century has allowed women to empower themselves by using various tools on the internet. With the introduction of the World Wide Web, women have begun to use social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. These facilities have been used for online activism. Women are able to empower themselves by organizing campaigns and voicing their opinions for scrutiny. So what does this mean to us as an organization? We need to harness technology or we will be left behind. As we have been talking about individual empowerment, we shall witness an increase in the middle class. We'll define what a middle class is. According to the organizations like the United Nations and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, someone who is defined or who is categorized under middle class is anyone who consumes an average of $10 to $100 a day. So just imagine if you are taking $10 or $100 per day, you are under the category of someone who is within the middle class. This group is believed that this group has got disposable income and enough money to consume other basic things. So when we have improved our middle class, that means an increase in demand or an increase in the consumption of basic goods, basic commodities, and other luxury commodities will increase. So as an organization, we need to brace ourselves for an increase in the demand for our basic commodities and our luxury gadgets. The rise of middle class is only possible if doors for foreign direct investments are opened. So what does that mean as an organization? We need to advocate more to the governments and the responsible authorities for consistency in policy and increase foreign direct investment within the organization, within the country. And then someone will wonder, what then will happen if there is an increase in the middle class? Let me take you through some of the advantages of an increase in the what? In the rise of a middle class. It is manifest that the best political community is formed by citizens of the middle class. and that those states are likely to be well administered in which the middle class is large. It is possible that both classes for the addition of middle class turn the scale, and it prevents either of the extremes from being dominant. Also, middle class wants a government that maintains a level playing field in the economic arena, free of rents and privileges, capable of regulating effectively natural monopolies and able to administer enforced tax systems adequate to provide security, basic infrastructure, and other public and collective goods and services. That is the main reason why we are advocating for a rise in the middle class. As you can see, these are interlinking. First, we're talking about an increase in individual empowerment. Individual empowerment will lead to an increase in what? Middle class. An increase in middle class will result in good governance. Well, we are also going to witness an increase in technology. Let me take you through another mega trend. As you have been aware, computing power has become essentially free. There are free bytes, free megabyte, free data, free bandwidth and everything, free Wi-Fi. The possibilities are limitless. The question is, how will this technology be used? Without doubt, technology will continue to profoundly impact how people live, work, interact, and entertain. Greater organization is likely to be witnessed. Simplification of the massive amounts of information is likely to be witnessed. Greater connection of consumers through social media. Use of technology by large companies will not be a competitive advantage, but it will actually be a necessity on its own. And then let me take you through the advantages of this technology to our economy, to our society, and to everyone. Technological advances are expected to continue to increase demand for a highly skilled workforce. Therefore, as an organization in education, we need to make sure that we are producing skilled people, skilled manpower, with the ability to meet the demand in the rise of these skilled people to cater for this rise in technology and change the organizational business and the nature of employment relations. The implications for advances in technology are that there will be fewer barriers for virtual business. Just imagine today we are buying cars from Japan without you even visiting. You just visit Amazon, you just visit Google, you just visit eBay. Those are the likely effects or impacts of what we are talking of when we are talking of technology. More so, we are going to witness what is termed diffusion of power. No one region or state will be a superpower, but it will be shared equally. By 2013, no country, whether the US, whether China, Brazil, Germany, Russia, will be a powerhouse. This will result in economies from other continents, which are so labeled as primitive, such as Africa, will by then grow as well to become recognized. Power will shift to network and coalition. US alone will not be the powers. China alone will not be the powers, but also African countries rising from South Africa, Nigeria will be counted in. Now, developing countries, in particular the BRIC countries, are gaining more influence due to increase in population, exports, and innovation. As these countries trade and invest within themselves, we as Highland are likely to see them grow at a more rapid rate, which means more money to us. An increase in population means an increase in the demand for those goods or our products. And diffusion of power. Brazil is a creditor nation. China is the world's second largest economy. India is an enormous hub of technological innovation, and African nations are beginning to manage their rich depth of natural resources more wisely. So, what does that mean? It means each and every country cannot operate in a vacuum. Each and every continent needs to work hand in hand with another. So, the need for networking. The undeniable result is a rising middle class that at the same time will consume more, become more aware of their impact on the earth, and will help spur economic recovery beyond the borders of the countries in which they live. Well, because of time, let me take you through one of the major trends again, which is demographic patterns. It is likely believed that population is likely to increase rapidly. Economic growth will decline in aging countries, especially those in the European part. This means there will be an increase in dependence ratio within the aging population. Demand for pension fund, which will eat the resources as well. Africa is believed to have a majority of its population being youthful, and this means labor and skills will be coming right here from Africa. So as a continent, or we as a country, or let me narrow it down, we as an organization, we need to make sure that we are placing our people with the right skills, as there will be a great demand for our skills coming from this continent. Also, within the demographic pattern, it is believed that urbanization will increase, and this will result in a constraint of resources. Therefore, decentralization is the way to go. I will talk more on the impact or on the effects of decentralization later on. Economic growth is likely, the effects of urbanization on the economy, the society, and the political. Today, roughly 50% of urban population will climb to nearly 60% or 4.9 billion. In 2030, Africa will gradually replace Asia as the region with the highest urbanization growth rate. Urban centers are estimated to generate 80% of economic growth. The potential exists to apply modern technologies and infrastructure, promoting better use of scarce resources. As we see, when there is an increase in demand, prices again will also increase. So there is need to ensure we have efficient and good technologies to maximize of the available resources, because there will be scarcity because of an increase in the demand of these basic commodities. Unemployment is likely to increase because of an increase in population. However, technology will be taking one for each and every 3 jobs. So just imagine population increasing, where technology is also taking the other party for the recruitment section. The youthful African continent need to be prepared for some civil unrest, as crisis for food, water, and health facilities will escalate. So this will see an influx of NGOs operating in trying to curb such issues, as they will be arising. Food, water, and energy scarcity is likely to be witnessed. Demand for such basic human needs will increase substantially owing to increase in the global population. There is need to harness renewable sources of energy such as solar, gas, as well as to upskill our agricultural activities, as agriculture is likely to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, at the same time, 1, it will increase food, 2, it will increase the employment capacities of nations. So it's actually killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Increased population can be reduced if there is an increase in the emancipation of women and individual empowerment. Family planning facilities should be put in place to help reduce this crisis, the likely crisis of a skyrocketing population. Clean energy sources are sometimes more expensive upfront, but often end up being cheaper in the long run. So there is need for us to ensure that we harness on these clean energy sources. However, the cost-benefit analysis says they will be more expensive in the first place, but however, in the long run, they will be cheap. And these environmentally friendly companies save themselves from having to deal with future governmental regulations and fines down the line if they harness on clean energy sources. We need to have also shared value businesses and policies as an organization operating, so that we enhance the competitiveness of a company while simultaneously advancing the economic, social conditions in the communities. Scarcity of commodities is likely to increase as well. Conflict is likely to arise, as witnessed the likely effect of xenophobia in South Africa. Xenophobia was a result of scarce resources, and those are the examples which are likely to result in conflicts arising. So there is need for fusion and collaboration between states to avoid such political unrest. This intrastate conflict will likely to spill over and result in global